All right, next up, we're in North Tonawanda, New York in May of 2023.
Upstate. So this video, again, comes from Law and Crime. I've been on Law and Crime, more the law side, not the crime side. But this is where we found these videos, and if you want to check them out, go to Law and Crime, subscribe.
Hey, David. Hey. Tell you who he is yet?
What's that?
Tell you who he is yet?
He does not.
All right, let's just take him out and
Failure to ID.
we can identify him.
Yep. I was just trying to see if we had anything on there so I could at least come up and already have his information, but it's a rental car.
So I don't work for Hertz. Let's just lay that out. But I have rented a car. And I know you have to be at least 25. And you also have to have a valid driver's license. So he doesn't believe in the law in that you need a license to drive, travel, whatever he's doing. But he obeyed enough of the law to get a license so he could rent a car from Hertz, which is a for-profit business, which I've used before. I mean, I like Hertz. I like Enterprise. I like them all. So it's so convenient how he doesn't want to follow any of these laws, but he'll follow these rules so he could rent a car. I can't help but see that as a quandary.
Yep.
And I got nothing else.
No idea who it is?
No, I've never even seen this guy before. Blew right through the stop sign, but he is not, he said he doesn't have to stick around. I was like, okay, well, I'm advising you legally you have to stay here.
Yeah, he's detained.
All right. You got a rental car, brother. You got to have a contract for it, right? And a driver's license. I need to see that.
You just clap.
410-4.
Normally, I'll give you a little bit of insight. My uncle was first sergeant military police.
Okay.
My cousin is a police officer.
No one cares who your cousin is.
Okay. Who is it in Genesee County?
That would be Morgan. Is her first name. So anyway, I also had federal security clearance of high security public trust. Right?
No one cares.
So I'm all about Constitution.
Okay.
So I need you as a public servant, because am I a public servant or are you the public servant?
So you're correct. I'm a public servant.
Good. You have an oath of office to that Constitution. Am I correct?
Yep.
What's the 10th Amendment?
So I'm not going to get into that.
So
with
you don't, no, listen to it, 10th Amendment.
You yank that guy out of that
the
car.
car.
You're not going to do anything.
All right, come on, sir. Get out.
Yep. I'm
Unlock
going to
the
have you
car.
remove out of the car.
So I'm going to record this
You're
again.
free to record. You can record whatever you like.
I'm going to roll up the window. Now you're going to recite the 10th Amendment.
I'm going to have 203 start this way as well.
I'll break that thing.
196 and 203 if you can enter this location.
Next step is I call 911 and I get SWAT here.
We are SWAT.
We are SWAT, so...
Good.
SWAT.
You're insurrectionists at this point in time, because if you're trying to demand anything out of me,
We need to
now,
identify
keep in
you,
mind,
sir.
I have no problem with giving you my license and what have you. What I'm doing is I'm ensuring you're abiding by your oath to the Constitution.
So we need to see your driver's license.
You don't
and your
need to
vehicle
see
registration.
anything from me because you are a public servant. I have the right to travel under the 9th Amendment.
Not in a car, you don't. Sovereigns are big on that they have the right to travel. And you absolutely do. You could travel on your feet, walking, no problem. You can also travel in the passenger seat. You could lay down in the back seat. If you rented an SUV, you could blow up a bed and ride in the back, while someone with a valid driver's license transported you. No problem at all. You can travel all of those ways without any interruption. But when you start driving on roads that are maintained with tax dollars, and you're in a state that requires you to have a driver's license, all of that stuff kind of comes all together there. So if you're a sovereign, just ride in the passenger seat. You can have your whole binder of papers and quote your amendments and your insurrectionist philosophies. You can do all of that from the passenger seat. You're the co-pilot. Do that.
I have right, First Amendment right, freedom of exercise of religion. Freedom of exercise
So what does
of
that
religion.
have to do with you
I'm
committing a
going to
vehicle and
clarify
traffic
for
law
you.
violation?
Stop interrupting me. You're the public servant. First Amendment,
203
freedom of
copy.
exercise of religion, right? Does it state that
So
clearly?
what I don't understand, sir, is what does it have to do with you not
Yeah.
stopping him?
What is your religion?
My question.
No, I need to see your.
It has nothing to do with it.
If you're not going to answer my question, then we're not. You want to act like a public servant and answer my question, or do
Sir,
you want to act like you're the
so what
authority
you're
when
going
you
to
have
do
none?
is turn this from just a simple traffic stop.
So what I'm
Verify
doing
that
is
you
I'm
have a
asserting
license.
my rights as a U.S. citizen and validating that you're not abiding by your oath to the Constitution.
So my job here today
So
is to
your
monitor
job here
traffic
today
safety.
is to
That guy's a
enforce
jerk.
the law. Is that correct?
Correct, which you violated.
No, because which is the supreme law of the land, Marbury versus Madison. If a law is created that violates a constitutional standard, it is automatically null and void.
You have a constitutional right to drive a car.
Well,
Not
the
coming to a complete
Constitution.
Think you do.
with a stop sign.
So that's what I'm getting to. What's the freedom
I don't
of
understand.
So if you don't understand,
roundabout
I'm
way to
free
get
to
to that.
educate you. Are you going to
Why are
listen?
you yelling
It's-
at
Sir, Pennsylvania
because
versus
you are not
Mims.
listening.
Yep. One, I like that these two cops are SWAT cops, so I'm a fan of that. Secondly, I like that he understands Pennsylvania versus Mims. Super simple case law. It's taught in the academy. All cops have heard of it or know it or are very familiar with it. But pretty much what it allows us to do is during the course of a traffic stop, it allows us to ask you to or tell you to exit your vehicle during the course of that traffic stop. It's not like a fray, kind of a totally obscure philosophy. This is a very well-known, very mainstream, very basic aspect of Supreme Court constitutional case law that just about everyone knows. So, and this guy wants to quote his case law from the Supreme Court, but doesn't like the officer's case law also from the Supreme Court.
Sir, Pennsylvania versus Mims says that we have the right to ask you out of the car.
You don't have any rights to the First Amendment, separation of church and state.
Yes, Supreme Court case law.
Supreme Court case, Marbury versus Madison. If a law is made that violates a constitutional standard, it's
So you like your case law, but not
Give us your license and you have to step out
our
of the car.
case law.
It's your choice.
Break it. Break it. Break that window.
This man, who we now know is Richard Ewart, also goes by the name of Obadiah. He posted this body cam footage on his own YouTube channel. Take a look.
It's annoying, isn't it?
I'm here till 10.
That's a good answer.
I've already fought a course case in North Tonawanda. Just let you know. I had it thrown out. It was dismissed for the same principle I'm stating with you right now.
Okay.
So do you think you have the authority?
You violated vehicle and traffic law.
Which law is that?
1172A.
State law?
New York State vehicle and traffic law.
State Constitution refers to the U.S. Constitution as the supreme law of the land. Is that correct?
We're not doing this, sir.
If you're not doing it, then I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Calling 911.
More.
Cool. Another charge.
County, just so you're advised, this driver's calling 911.
Niagara County 911, where's your emergency?
Yeah, I don't know where it exactly is. What road am
We're
I
on Rui
officers?
Road, sir.
Do we?
We're on Rui Road.
Rui? Okay, I'll let you, the officer, explain. Right now I have a couple police officers. I'm trying to assert my rights under the Constitution. First Amendment, separation of church of state, which states clearly in the First Amendment that the freedom of exercise of religion, that freedom of exercise, if Congress can't pass a law, then they can't violate, the Judicial Department can't enforce the law. That's supreme law of the land. I'm asserting that with these officers that are pulling me over for a traffic violation, which is state law. And on the federal level, they refuse to abide by their oath of office to the Constitution. Now they're acting under the 10th Amendment, which states clearly to the state or the people, it's not exclusive to the state.
It's exhausting.
That said, they don't have any authority nor jurisdiction in this matter. Even if I did go through a stop sign, there's nobody that was hurt or injured, which doesn't make it a crime. And since I follow common law, which is 5 of the 10 commandments, no murder, no theft, no coveting, no bearing false witness, and no adultery, They are currently committing an insurrection. Well, I don't know if I did or not. That's what they're proclaiming, but state law doesn't supersede federal law. Federal law, First and Tenth Amendment, as well as the Ninth Amendment apply here, and they're violating the rules of the Constitution, which in turn would make them insurrectionists.
That's a stretch.
Now, I have police officers in my family and what have you.
No one
Sir,
cares.
my name is Richard Ewert. Driver's license, Ewert, E-W-E-R-T. And just for fun, because I don't have any problem with giving them my license and what have you, I'm just kind of asserting my rights at the moment.
Do you have an emergency?
The emergency is these cops are violating my constitutional rights and they
Well,
refuse to
their
leave.
lieutenant's on the way over to speak with you. You can speak with the lieutenant when he gets there. But unfortunately, right now, you're tying up an emergency line for somebody that could be in cardiac arrest or...
Good answer. I like that when this guy's like, I'm going to call 911. The officer's like, hey, just so you know, he's going to call 911, giving the dispatchers a heads up. We have the same line of communication with our dispatchers here. They are awesome up there. They do a great job. They have a terribly unforgiving job. They don't get recognized for enough of what they do, but dispatchers deal with a lot of stuff and really have they listen to it and then they have to deal with it. On the road, it gives us a little bit, we have a little bit more freedom to deal with what we hear. But they don't. But I mean, she did great. Hey, there's a lieutenant on the way. You could talk to him. I'm going to open up this line for someone with an actual emergency, not your BS, because obviously that dispatcher didn't have any time for this. So kudos to her, because she sounded like she was on the ball.
Well, they did try to say that I have to step out of the vehicle, and they're trying to demand things out of me. They're acting like they have the authority when they're public servants.
On the way there, you can speak with the lieutenant when he gets there, okay?
Alrighty. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
We could have gone a whole different route over this. Other than,
Exactly. And I just wanted to ask you questions, and I
it's
needed
not
to
for you
refuse
to
the
ask
answer.
me questions.
It
I
is
was
my
super
job.
cordial to you. I came up to you. All
It
I said
doesn't
is I
make a
need to see your
difference.
driver's license.
Again, you're the public servant, right?
Correct. But
So
no
if I
one's-
ask you a question, if you wanted to keep it cordial and everything, you would have
Right.
answered the question.
Right, but you're not even identifying who you were to me.
I don't have to
You
identify
do, though,
you.
because
No,
you're
I
driving on a New York State roadway. You need to
don't. Ninth
produce...
Amendment.
It has nothing to do
Right
with
to
that.
travel.
You can speak with my supervisor.
Okay.
It's New York State law. This is a traffic stop. Identify yourself, or you're going to be arrested for obstruction and a misdemeanor.
That LT is on point.
All right. You have an oath to the Constitution. Is that correct?
Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
It's time to get out of the car and identify yourself.
So if you go and do what you're doing,
Yeah.
you're violating your oath to the Constitution.
Nope.
Yes.
You're detained right now. You're accused of committing a crime, a vehicle and traffic law. You have to identify yourself. It's basic when you're 16 years old and you get your license. I'm Lieutenant Swift, badge 203. You're going to identify yourself to these officers right now. Why are you not identifying yourself?
I already did, actually.
I like this guy.
One call, I give him my driver's license number and everything. But as far as that's concerned, again, you have an oath to the Constitution. Are you going to allow me to speak? I'll clarify this for you.
No. Are you going to identify yourself?
Are you going to allow me to clarify
Yes.
everything?
Yes.
As the arguments continue to go in circles, the officers have finally had enough.
Because what I'm saying to you right now, because as much as you're trying to come at me, keep in mind I have the full legal right to remove Joe Biden from his office right now with the same context.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Do you know what year it is?
Do you know what year it is?
Do you know what year it is?
Okay, let me clarify this for you because you want to have this kind of argument. Do you proclaim December the 12th month?
Get him out of that car.
The year? Yes.
Even though the word itself literally means 10th month.
Sir, I don't know if
So exactly.
I don't know
because
if
you don't know
I
anything.
want to
You
help
don't-
you. I don't know if it's the mental.
I want to help people too.
Is this a mental?
His attention is out the other door. I would unlock that door right now.
December would be the 12th month when it literally means the 10th. Means
There
you're
we
probably
go.
not in your right
Identify
mind.
yourself to these police officers, please. Right now, identify yourself.
Do it.
To
Do
these
it.
police officers.
So are you doing an insurrection against people at the moment?
You're about to be removed from this vehicle. Shut the car off. Shut the car off. Shut the car off.
Let's go, right?
There we go.
You committed assault.
Oh, he's out of the car.
Oh, you tried to close the window on me after I told you to get out of the vehicle. Give you
Yes.
multiple chances to identify yourself.
Now I told you quite often that you're insurrectionists against people.
Double cup on him. No. Do you have any weapons in the car?
No, now you're performing an illegal search and seizure. Violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Ewert was charged with obstruction of governmental administration and released on an appearance ticket. He entered a not guilty plea, and the police contacted Hertz to sort out that whole mess about what to do with the rental car.